Hello, Aaron. I watched your uh, trans visibility video earlier today, and when you start talking about how hard it was, how hard it could be to being out to people, um, that kind of hit home with me. I'll start at the beginning. Uh, I've been cross-dressing for a number of years now, and shortly it didn't take too long for something to click. It just seemed right. Not just wearing women's clothes, but presenting myself as a woman fully. For the longest time, since I was very little, I've always felt there was something missing. I know it's a bit vague. Something wasn't quite right. For the longest time, I thought it was just me making too much of day-to-day things. But when I actually started dressing in my mom's borrowed clothes, it just felt natural to me. It really felt so natural. And I didn't, and up until that point, I didn't know what the feeling of being out of place was really all about. Then I started to I didn't immediately jump to it. I just considered, what if I am trans? And the more I dressed, the more at peace with myself that I thought. The more at peace with myself that I became. And well, for the longest time, it was since my teenage years, I've suffered with depression suffered with depression of one severity or another, although it wasn't described as depression until recently. But for quite some time, I just haven't felt right. Again, I know it's vague. It got so bad. There were times where it would get really, really dark for me. Things would get really dark, and it got so bad that committing suicide seemed, as wacky as it sounds, seemed almost like the rational thing to do to make things stop. And I wasn't I didn't obviously look forward to that. Not at all. I didn't want to die, but it was the only thing I could think of to make all the negativity stop. The negativity that was going through my head. I seemed to be experiencing the feeling of being out of place, not being quite right. That was until I started to think more about the dressing up, presenting myself as female, and realizing that whenever I did that, all the negative junk just faded into the background. I mean, I've talked to people about my feelings, my emotions, professionals, counsellors and psychiatrists, and that did help. But it was like the best description I could give was like a pressure cooker. Talking to someone is like the safety release valve. Just lets off steam, but it's still there. It was still there. That's why I started to consider the suicide. But then when I started to dress, and more I realized just how natural and how at peace I was when I was dressed. I mean, up until a couple of weeks ago, I was all set to kill myself. I was. I've only ever told one person that before, and that was my partner. But up until a few weeks ago, I was ready to kill myself. I was going to overdose on my antidepressants and sleeping pills because it got that bad. I believed it was that bad. But then I started to talk to people about my dressing, my gender dysphoria. I do believe I have gender dysphoria. And when I talk to people about that, I tried to kill myself once already, and obviously didn't work, which at the time I did kind of regret, but before I tried again, I did reach out to some local mental health people and talking to them. That's when my trans questioning came to the fore, and it went from there. Talked to them. I got referred to a group called the Medway engagement group the Medway engagement group and network CIC. They advertised a LGBTQ peer support group. Unfortunately, when I actually phoned them, they no longer ran that service due to lack of participation and funds. But they directed me on to another group. It was a Medway-based group for sexual diversity. that's where I've just been. I actually got a bit dressed up for it. I don't have any female clothes, just a top and a couple of pair of jeans of the wig and breast forms as well. But I look a mess with the wig. I need a lot of help with that. But yeah, I went to them. I was supposed to have my first appointment with the counsellor the other day on the 1st, but she had a family emergency, so the next one's on the 8th. But before that, I went for an assessment with her, and just the assessment, well, when I went in there, my emotions were quite close to the surface. So I was feeling quite quite exposed. But afterwards, just from that talk I had with her then, just talking about my situation, my aims of the therapy, and where I want to go from here. Just from that made me feel so hopeful about the future. It was really good. It was an amazing natural high, and I don't want to die anymore. I want to explore this, take it as far as I need to. I am expecting some resistance from family members. My brother already knew about my dressing. He was honest about. We didn't go into great lengths about gender dysphoria, but he was quite honest with me. He said he wouldn't know how he would feel about that. I don't. I'm thankful he was honest with me. I'm confident that whatever problems he has, he will eventually, hopefully, see this is right for me. What I'm doing is right for me. My parents, they're another issue that's going to be a bit more difficult, but as has been pointed out to me a number of times, any problem that they or anyone else has isn't my problem, it's theirs, and I can't forget that. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm trying to live my life the best, most complete way I know how to. And I went to the social group, to this the Medway Diversity Centre. There was only the three of us there this time. There was the organiser, me, and the other lady, Jasmine. The organiser was Hillary. Both trans women, both very supportive and receptive to the things I was saying, and they explained a whole bunch about how the term how being transgender, it's not just one or the other, it's the whole spectrum. And there's so many different aspects to it, and you don't have to be you don't have to be one extreme or the other to be happy. You just find your place, find what's best for you, and that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I do see myself eventually going out, presenting myself as female. I do know it's early days yet, and there are no certainties, but when I think about that, when I think about presenting myself as a woman 24/7, as difficult as I know it's going to be for people to accept, that's their problem. I'm not doing anything wrong. But I do know there's going to be, I do know this is just the first step. But I'm going to be out. I'm going to be proud. Because I am. I know there's nothing wrong with me. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you have a great week. And I'll keep you and everyone else updated. Cheers. Bye.